unless you're using... unless you are not trying to get a cheek weld of any description, you are not shooting the thing with your left hand. Like, you can hip fire it left-handed fine, you can shoulder it and fire it left-handed fine, but you are not aiming properly with it. Yeah, it does have a... Is that a khaki? Yeah, they are getting issued SUSATs.
I'm so sorry.
Hmm?
Feel so bad for those Ukrainians having to use SUSATs.
Have you ever had to use one?
They're so bad.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I
can
mean.
tell you that.
They're fucking garbage optics. Like, you compare it to TA-31F, which is, like... Have you ever looked through a TA-31?
No, I've looked through a SUSAT, though.
SUSAT is, like, Bushnell level. TA-31 is one of the best optics I've ever had the opportunity to handle. It's incredible.
The SUSAT is also from the 80s.
Yeah, ACOG isn't much newer.
No, but ACOG also wasn't developed by the British government trying to cut corners.
Yes.
Da Vinci?
Actually, yes. The first ACOG was...
Right.
ACOG was 87.
Just as a point of note, Opti, if you're not aware,
Who was SOCOM adopted.
InVoIP is a view through a SUSAT. Now, you want to know what's even better? The scope that was used prior to the SUSAT, right, on the SLRs and the Gympis, it's called the suit. The L2A2 Sight Unit Infantry Trilux. Which...
Like, Opti, I want you to just look at these two and tell me, which one would you rather have?
I suppose it depends on, like, for close range, quick target acquisition, I would say the SUSAT's probably better because you have a very obvious black point in the middle of the scope. Because I have to say, I can barely see the reticle in the ACOG picture.
Yeah, it's way more clear in person. Let me tell you that.
It's
And
just,
also,
it looks absolutely minuscule.
When it's on a rifle and you point it, if you know where your rifle is generally pointing, you will have an approximate, man-sized target at close range. I mean, it's pretty much you present and you see target, you roughly center target, and you can panic fire pretty accurately.
Yes.
I mean, there's a reason we use it. There's also a backup iron sights on top for whatever retarded reason.
There are backup iron sights on top of the SUSAT as well. Do not recommend using them.
Yeah, they're
do you want to know what's even better, though?
Too.
So, the SUSAT is the modification of the suit. This is the suit.
There's some ways I'd prefer that.
It's very unintuitive, though.
Yes, but
also,
there's definitely reasons I prefer that over SUSAT. I really don't like the way SUSAT just blocks your entire target.
It's basically just iron sights, but magnified.
Yeah, but worse, because it's not like...
You're also supposed to put the target at the absolute tip of the point, so...
Yeah, that's part of the big problem.
The same thing with the suit, except the idea with the suit is that the reason the target is on top is so when you recoil and the scope goes up, then you just have to wait for the tip to point back down again, and then you fire. Wonderful idea, isn't it?
Has the person who designed that never actually shot a gun?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, that's my only guess. That's pretty bad.
It's very unintuitive. As a
It's
point
also
to note,
just like
this,
mechanically unsound, and
yeah,
it's working off the basis of you have such a shitty rifle, it kicks upwards
it is a
noticeably.
foul.
Never mind. FAL is cool, but I have about as much love for the FAL as I do the M14.
Hmm.
I far prefer the G3.
Hmm. Hmm. I'd definitely take a foul over an M14.
Yeah, there's no doubt there. I mean, M14 is kind of bottom of the barrel.
Hmm. Now,
The advantage of the G3. Wow, it's funny. We complain about the M14's accuracy, but out of those three, the M14 is still the most accurate.
if it's tuned properly.
No, standard spec. Not even with much tuning. It's still more accurate than those two. That's like the only advantage it has going for it.
Hmm.
You can easily get it to around a 2-3 MOA gun. It's hard to get a sub MOA, which is the big problem.
So, the
The FAL and
suit.
the G3 are like 4 MOA guns.
The suit is a 4x scope with an 8-degree field of view. Has red tritium, and it has a 300 meter or 500 meter setting. The SUSAT, it also weighed 340 grams. So, 3/4 of a pound. The SUSAT, 417 grams. It's about 14 ounces. 10-degree field of view. Range settings of either 100 to 600 or 300 to 800 meters, depending on the variant. But basically, things built like a tank.
Words
I
cannot
love it.
describe how much I want on a TA-31.
This is the picture they have for someone using the SUS. That's going to take a while because I'm uploading and downloading stuff, but the picture they have for using a SUSAT on an L85 is just hilarious. It's a bloke with an MTP patterned helmet, which doesn't look to be a standard British issue helmet, wearing a respirator in Desert DPM Seaburn gear. It's just kind of ludicrous.